Everybody, we are back with another review, and today we got a pickup from my world's smallest line. You haven't seen me do this in a little while, but today it's going to be a fun one. So without further ado, let's hop right into this review, because today we are checking out the world's smallest duel decks from Magic the Gathering. So we got Super Impulse back at it again, straight killing it. We're at the end of summer right now, and they are dropping some fire stuff. And I'm sure they're getting geared up for Q4 and Christmas season and cashing out big on some really nice toys, because they have not only been continuing to drop the minifigs, because we did the Optimus Prime on here, we've done the miniature Hot Wheels, but they are dropping more minifigs. We got Motu stuff dropping through Super Impulse. They got some really good licenses, and they are continuing to drop some really nice products. So today we have the world's smallest functioning duel decks. It's a complete 60 card deck today. Both Magic the Gathering obviously licensed cards are going to be in there, I imagine. I already see it straight out the gate. We have Jace Bellerin right there, and then we also have Vraska, which is really cool. And I have some actual Magic cards here that we're going to compare it to, so we're going to check that out. Cut that right open right there. Let's see what we got. I like that they come in the miniature deck boxes. We might actually let me see if we can just slide that out. There we go. Beep. All right, pretty cool. There is some kind of instruction down there. I imagine that is how to play the game, but we already know how to play the game, which is great. We love Magic the Gathering here. We've been unboxing Magic cards for years on here, and it's great to actually unbox some more Magic cards on here again. As you know, the fallout we had with, oh my god, with Wizards of the Coast, WotC, and the fact that they kept mailing out garbage cards that were all bent. Every card was bent. Buying booster boxes, $100 boxes, and you're getting a bunch of bent cards that are not even playable is absolute bullshit. So, and after that happened, doing multiple sets, as you knew on this channel, wow, we were able to basically stop doing reviews on Magic the Gathering, so that's great. But here we go. We have a huge lineup here, and I was perusing this while I was rambling, but I mean, let's start down here. I mean, you've seen us do the Crocodile Dentist. They got a Barbie Dream House they're doing. They got this Polaroid camera from Barbie, so they got the Barbie license, which is, we actually did see this one. We pulled that in a blind box, which is like a Color Forms box, because we ended up buying a bunch of blind boxes and we got some interesting ones. The Fisher-Price ones I think are really cool, because these are super tiny. I mean, you can see right there, there's the size of a coin. There's a little bus, which is sick. The little car is super tiny, the tractor. And they also have, I have the, what is it? This one right here, the basketball one. We reviewed that here on the channel. They also have a baseball and a football one. We did the Magic 8 Ball, Rock'em Sock'ems. We did the Lincoln Logs. Oh, that's cool. Tinker Toy. That is neat. The Light Bright, there's the original G.I. Joe, and then they dropped these right here, which are up here. We'll go to the micro action figures in a bit. We pulled some of the Care Bears out of the blind bags. We have done Gumby. Wow, we've done a lot of their stuff, actually. I'm thinking about it. Care Bears, we've done that on this channel. We did the Silly Putty, which I basically said was just a smaller version of the egg. I mean, I guess it's world's smallest, yeah, but they're just selling you like a smaller amount of putty for the same price. The crayons, that was another one. We did the Rubik's Cube, which was cool. The Perplexus, we did that. That's really neat. Wow, we've reviewed a lot of their products. Wow, yeah, didn't know that. We actually reviewed one of their mini arcades too. We did the Pac-Man one. Well, they got a mini Super Soaker. That's cool. Check that out. Elf on the Shelf, we did that on this channel. They got Monkeys in a Barrel. They got the Slinky Dog from Toy Story. They got Mr. Potato Head, which has no movable parts, but it does have a spinny head. Mini Nerf. That is cool. The Nerf Foop. That is neat. Wow. And then the Jumanji. That was, I think, one of the last products they dropped. And then they dropped this Pictionary that before I took a little break from doing their reviews, because I haven't been able to find their stuff. Sometimes they're at Target, sometimes they're not. I mean, all you got to really do is go around Target and look for an end cap with like a red thing hanging. And odds are it's actually going to be either an Uno display case with all the different Uno games in it, or it's going to be a Super Impulse World's Smallest section. I have not seen them anywhere else except for Target. And they usually start stocking the shelves, which I imagine all of these are going to be stocked on the shelves for Q4, but I want to pick up these mini board games for sure. I want to get Jumanji. I want to get the Pictionary. We've already done Uno on the channel, but I really like the miniature board games, especially this Pictionary. This Pictionary is sick. It's a great game. Here are the minifigs. We've done the Transformers on here. I want to grab these Motu ones. I also want to grab these, what are they called? Marty, is it Marty Andrews? I forget the guy's name, that little logo right there, but we've reviewed his actual figures on this channel. They come with like soft goods and everything. Usually they're limited runs, but man, they got turtles dropping. I'm going to be grabbing them turtles too. Wow, look at that. They got the G.I. Joe figure. So yeah, we're going to get all these figures here, and we're going to review those here on the channel as well. Looks like we got a Duncan Yo-Yo. I mean, there's so much stuff that they have got licensing for since this company started. There's a whole nother backside to this thing, which is awesome. So here's some electronics that they have dropped. I do like their tabletop ones. This right here, here we go. The tabletop arcades. I do want to grab one of these to review on the channel. Probably grab either, well, I don't know, I like probably the Pac-Man one or the Galaga one, but the design on the marquees are really cool on that. And then they got, here we go, these are the blind bags for the Hot Wheels, and the Hot Wheels are so sick. We got the Purple Passion, we got a few other ones. We got a Camaro, we have that, the rally case. There's the Purple Passion, D-Muscle, you know what I mean? Saves on some licensing. And then yeah, pretty cool. They just dropped these. I know that they dropped these noisemakers where you can basically there's the Pac-Man one. You could basically do speech from specific shows, which right now they have Parks and Rec, they have the Office ones. But here are some of the arcades that they have, the mini arcades. Before we get into the magic cards, I was just going to finish showing you these off. They even got like skee ball and stuff. So phenomenal toy company. They have been around for, I believe, about just a year. I don't know exactly. It doesn't really say on here or anything like that, but it looks like they got all these licenses in 2020. And I know I was buying their toys last year in 2019, so we'll push that off to the side for now. And here we go. We got the Duel decks. It's got a little snafu on it. Oh, that's some glue, actually, is what that is. We got Jace and Vraska. So we got a straight blue deck. We have a green-black hybrid right here, which is pretty dope. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use Excalibur so we don't mess these boxes up, because we don't want to be doing that. Wow, that is sick. Straight out the gate, that is sick. It's a nice packed deck right there. I imagine shuffling it's not going to be the easiest thing. You can still read the cards, actually, and it's still in the cellophane, but right there we got Jace, Architect of Thought, which is neat to see that. And they look like they're straight cards. Oh my god, look at the back. Look at that. Oh man, that classic Magic back. I love that. That is great. Let's see if I don't really know if I want to try any more on them. There we go. Let's do, trying to peel this off without messing the cards up, which is a little difficult to actually get into this. So let me, there we go. Bust them out, free the cards. I just didn't want to damage them at all. That is not the point here. So wow, this is sick. We're gonna go through each deck, but this is sick. So it is a mix of, it does have these lands in them. Wow, okay, cool, this is sick. We're gonna go through each deck, but let me open them up first. So we got Jace right there, Architect of Thought. Wow. These are awesome. This is sick. I'm glad to see these. It's like reigniting my my love for Magic the Gathering, which is great, because it was something that I was very, very passionate about and I was into, and I liked reviewing on the channel personally. I like doing pickups for it. I like popping packs. It was fun. And then once I got like what, three sets of returns from the booster boxes that I popped, and I got some really good cards. If you were a fan of the channel a long time ago and you're not just a new member, you remember some of the good cards that I pulled, and they were all damaged, they were all bent. I mean, we're talking, I believe it was the Dominaria set, Guilds of Ravnica, and then Core Set 2020, and those were the last three sets that got, that was it. We were done with that after that. It was absolutely, it was a mess. It was a mess. I think they chose a different company to do the printing somewhere in Japan, which usually you get really good quality stuff coming from Japan over China, or I mean even Taiwan's really good. So it looks like this one actually has some of the lands and stuff. They're all kind of mixed up. Well, I guess it kind of hits right there, which is neat. So let's go through the decks right here. First, before we do that, I would like to actually compare this to, I have Jace Ingenious Mind Mage here. So we're going to take that one, which is this Planeswalker card, and then we're going to take the mini Planeswalker card, and we're just going to compare them together. Not the same card whatsoever, but as you can see right there, the size and the scale comparison. Let's put it to the corner here. You're talking about just about a quarter of a card, which is really neat that they did that. Again, you can still read the script. Let's look at the back actually real fast. Look at the back. How sick is that? Now the one on the right does have a little bit of a brighter orange, which does remind me of the classic Magic cards, because they were a little bit more orange. These are a little bit more muted, the newer ones. But I do like, that was the first thing that I saw when I turned it over. I was like, wow, that is awesome. It also reminds me of the old instruction manuals they used to give you when you'd buy decks. So pretty cool on that. So this is Jace, Architect of Thought. Now this is a Planeswalker card, which is going to have a lot more information on there, because there's directions obviously in regards to the counter right there on the bottom. So there is a lot of text on there. I shouldn't put it that close to the camera, but you got 2014 is the drop for this particular artwork right here from Igor Kierfiuk. Hopefully I pronounced that correct. But let's check out what we got in the rest of the deck here. I'm gonna actually split it in half here, and we'll check out the lands separately. But this is a straight blue deck, so that one's gonna have probably a mix of lands, which is gonna be neat. So we got Chronomation. Let me see, that's gonna be perfect right there. So this is just gonna be adding +1/+1 counters. So we got Jace's Phantasm, which is another good one. And I mean, you can read all this text and you can see the artwork on these very well. It's not that difficult to make out the words on here. When Phantasmal Bear becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. But for one blue mana, you get a 2/2 bear, which is pretty cool. And then you got this one with a kicker. So you got Aether Figment, Crosstown Courier, you got Dreamstalker, Kravokian Mist. Ooh, the Kravokian. Another Kravokian Mist. Seagate Oracle. Stealer of Secrets. Very neat. Aether Adept. Archaeomancer. That's a 1/2. When Archaeomancer enters the battlefield, return target instant or sorcery card from graveyard to your hand. Pretty cool. Phantasmal Dragon. That's a cool one. 5/5 flying creature. Love that. Body Double. Oh, that's pretty cool. All right, Body Double. Leyline Phantom. Right there, a 5/5 Phantom, which is cool. Aeon Chronicler. Ooh, that's a star. So you build it based off attributes. That's cool. Riftwing Cloud Skate. Jace's Mind Seeker. Errant Ephemeron. Jace's Ingenuity. Summoner's Bane. Ooh, Ray of Command. This is a classic one. Very nice. Ray of Command. I believe this one originally debuted in Mirage with this artwork as well. Interesting on that. That's cool. Griptide. Remand. Prohibit. I like the artwork on that one. Memory Lapse. Another good one. Counter target spell. It's just another counter spell. If you have a nice counter deck, a nice strong blue deck, that's always good to have loaded counter spells. Into the Royal. Thought Score. Another one, which is basically a discard. Spelt Wine. Merfolk Wayfinder. Agoraphobia. Claustrophobia. That's a good one too. Control Magic, of course. And Future Sight, which is another good card. Got a couple rares in there, which was neat. It's a good mix. The Mythic Rare is going to be this one, the orange Jace card, Architect of Thought, which is nice. And like I said, I'm personally not going to shuffle these because I'm not going to bend these cards, but I imagine you could just obviously do the old standard shuffle like that versus you trying to like bend them and flip them into each other. So let's put these aside right over here. Put those on top of the box. And now let's check out some of the lands that comes with it. All right, let's see. We got Hailmar Depths. We got Dread Statuary. And then check out some of these islands we got. Let's check these out. So it looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of artwork on here, which is cool. Very cool. Yeah. Dig these magic cards. That's for sure. These are really sick. So here we go. We got 5. We got this one, which is like a flying city in the water. We have another variation of that, a flying city with water around. Another flying city, which is interesting because the flying cities are usually associated with the white cards. So we have another flying city, and then another flying, or just another city with water around it. So, and then the last one we have is just a city with a bunch of bustling canals in it, which is pretty cool. Very neat on that. And then we had our 3 lands here that were, I guess you could say, a little different than the other lands. Let's check out what we got in the Vraska deck. So the Vraska deck, we're going to split it at, we got one creature that got snuck in there, a river boa. But let's slide out the lands right there because there's going to be some dual lands in there. So the planeswalker that we have for this deck is going to be Vraska, the Gorgon. So this is Vraska, the Unseen planeswalker right there. So this is, again, a hybrid one where it's black and green, which is neat, and multicolor, if you would. And it's going to be the Mythic Rare right there, which is cool. And again, same artist on that, 2014. So these are all from 2014, these particular dual decks. So we'll put her there. We'll check out what cards we ended up getting. We got Pulse Tracker, Shadow Alley Denizen. That's a cool card as well. Tavern Swindler, White of Precinct 6, which is neat because it gives you counters on that one. That's neat. Death Hood Cobra. So it's going to be a lot of aggro. Probably some spells in here, I imagine. Gate Creeper Vine. So we got a wall, basically a defending wall or defending plant. Vine Slasher Kudzu. So another plant. So like I said, you're seeing a lot of creatures, which is neat. This is a good mixed deck, if you would. Putrid Leech, multicolor card, very neat. Sadistic Augur Mage, Slate Street Ruffian, Oran Reef Recluse, which is, again, we're getting a lot of creatures, so that's a good thing. This is a nice deck. Spawn Wraith, we got a 2/2 for 3 mana. Pretty cool on that. Stoneflare Crocodile, another creature. And all the creatures pretty much have like some kind of an ability on them too, which is nice. And they're not very much mana to cast some of these creatures as well. Usually all around 2 or 3, it's what it's looking like. So we have Oran Viper, Corpse Traders, Fester Hide Boar, Mold Shambler, Highway Robber, Necrotal, Human Assassin, Reaper of the Wilds. There's that river boa, that elusive river boa. I used to play this a lot back in the 90s. That's a cool green card. Next we got Acidic Slime with Death Touch, Grueling Grudion, Hypnotic Cloud, Night's Whisper, Marsh Casualties. We got Treasure Find, Return target card from your graveyard to your hand, exile treasure find. Very nice. And it's a 2 casting cost, a mix right there. Tragic Slip. We got 2 of those. Last Kiss. Consume Strength. Grisly Spectacle. Stab Wound. And finally, Underworld Connections, which is a rare. Very, very cool. That's a neat deck. Yeah, this is a good deck. I mean, this would be very, very fun to play these 2 decks, these dual decks, and them being in miniature form, which is neat. Let's check out some of the dual lands we got here. These would be dual lands because these, well, not traditional dual lands, so don't crucify me in the comments. But we got dual lands here because these come into play tapped. The original dual lands did not come into play tapped, and you could just tap them for whatever 2 colors combinations they have. So non-traditional dual lands, let's just say that, okay? We got Golgari Guild Gate. We got Rogue's Passage. We have a Tainted Wood, 2 of those. And it looks like now we have jumped into the Swamps and Forests, which I'll split up in half right there. We'll see what we ended up getting here. Let's check out this artwork. Looks like we have some kind of catacomb depths right there. Below the swamp, some more catacomb artwork. Another shot of some kind of a catacomb, or I guess in a holler type city where it's just dark. We got some more catacomb underground. Looks like sewage passageways. And again, more of that in this particular artwork. Very dark. I do love the black color to play with. I also like playing with blue, but I like doing black and white sometimes. It really all depends. They're all the same. There's only 5 of each, which is nice. So they kept it uniform at least. And I imagine these all came from all these cards are from 2014. So these larger ones, I imagine, are the same. So here we go. We got Forest, which is very nice. Looks like we have a Forest Kingdom there. More of an outside daylight view of the kingdom from afar. We have looks like a red autumn type scene right here with the kingdom. Same thing as well right here. It's more like a springtime view. We have some very green, overgrown buildings and castles, it looks like. Very neat. And then we have the repeat of that. So wow, this is a pretty cool little adaptation that they did. I really dig the fact that they did this with Magic the Gathering cards and they got the license for this, because this is something definitely that is impressive. That's for sure. Let's grab Vraska. We'll put her on top of the deck, which is neat. And let's see how easy they go back into the box, because it's always an issue. Not with this stuff, but with usually everything. Is how do we put it back in the box? And let's see. I think they have solved the problem that I was already foreseeing, because you know what they did? They glued the bottom lid onto this box, because usually the issue with Magic decks is going to be the bottom lid like this, usually catching on the cards or something like that, and a card maybe sliding out the bottom. They solved that problem and made it very easy to return these back into the box by just gluing the lid on the bottom of the pack. Very nice Super Impulse. Your World's Smallest toys are always very impressive. Let's see, Jace. Very impressive. And again, this catalog that I showed you earlier, we started off with that, is insane how many new licenses that they got. So if you're looking for some toy companies on the rise, pay attention to Super Impulse. They're definitely going to be something that is going to at some point capture your childhood memories and at least make some kind of a toy that appeals to you. I mean, they have done it to me so many times with everything on here is appealing. I mean, I even like the little Care Bear ones, because they did the way they did the quality on that is amazing. They actually embroider everything on the Care Bears just like they did the original ones. I mean, it's truly amazing. I didn't even see the Viewmaster. It's truly amazing the stuff that they do at this particular company, because these are some really, really great toys. And I love miniatures, and this really is right up my alley for sure. There's another little shot of the back here, which is totally cool. And I love how they do this packing. This is like how you would get toys in the 90s. You would pick up toys and there would always be some kind of a little folding catalog or something in there that would let you know like of future drops from the company or things that you can look forward to that are maybe similar to what you just purchased. So I really dig that they did that. And again, toy company on the rise for sure. If you haven't heard of Super Impulse, if you haven't heard of World's Smallest, they also do World's Coolest. That's the other line. So it's World's Coolest and World's Smallest. You see these two logos, check out the toy, pick it up. It's usually going to be somewhere between $5 to, actually let's say $4 to $10, depending on what it is. And then I know the arcades are a little bit more money, but again, it's an arcade, so you're going to look around 20 bucks, I believe, for the arcades. The tabletops are a little bit more than that, but these are all around 15 to 20 for these stand-up arcades. So again, if you see Super Impulse, check them out. And why don't you let me know down in the comments below, do you collect Super Impulse, the world's smallest line, world's coolest line, or do you like Magic the Gathering? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want more content like this, subscribe for more, because I do reviews every single day, so look out for that, and have a great rest of your day.